Hi and welcome to another video by Are You Arty Kids. So tonight we are going to use a skull pre-drawn template for a sort of Day of the Dead sort of inspired piece. We're going to be working with pen. This could be just these are just Beryl fine writers, or it could be a biro, just something that you normally write with. And what we're going to be using is different mark making techniques. So we've got scribble or squiggle, we've got hatching or linear, and we've got cross hatching. And what I'm going to be looking to try and achieve is the success criteria. So using all the available space, making it original, eye-catching, using patterns as well as different symbols and mark making techniques. We're going to be using line. I'm going to be using different shading techniques and different mark making techniques to show control. So what we'll do is we'll make a start on this, and I'll probably do a little time lapse so that we can show how we're getting on. So I'm just going to try and think of some original patterns and designs on this one. And I'm going to make a start, so I'm going to zoom in on the first little section here. Okay, so we've got some intense cross-hatching, we've got some hatching, some solid tone, we've got some individual little arc patterns, got some fine detail, we've got some hatching, so lots of black and white optical in different directions, got some checkerboarding. So we're starting to build up this design now, so I'm just going to make a stop there, do a bit of progress, and see you in a minute. Welcome back to this video on use of pen and mark making on this sort of Day of the Dead-esque sculpt. So developed it a little bit further now, so got both eyes in. So I've got some symmetry, which is always nice. Got this sort of gemstone, which has got lots of hatching and cross-hatching, so tied up around the outside of the eye. Got these scribbles and squiggles along the jawbone. Finished the teeth, and what I've started to do, because obviously on a real skull these are the orbits, which are holes, that's the hole that jawbone sits behind. So I've started to do some really fine hatching and cross-hatching just below to indicate that that jawbone is below that cheekbone, and that these are really dark in here because they are holes, and also anything which is sort of 3D would be on there as well. So we're just developing that a little bit further, so I'm just going to work on this second jawbone here. And I'll just put some hatching and cross-hatching over the pattern. So this is layering. So I've got my patterns on first, but then I'm just adding this sort of fine hatching lines over the top. Just to sort of create more of a 3D effect. Then what we might do over this width, which would be on the skull lip anyway, I might just put some lines in here, which is probably what it would be on the skull, which is just above your sort of gum line in the real skull. Just do some sort of aged shading a little bit around there. Right, what can I put in the top here? Just not sure at the moment. Might just finish off that little zigzag there. Just so it looks about right. I'll just take that hatching, cross-hatching through to that bit. And what I'm going to do on the pre-printed template, I'm just going to further line a little bit. So all I'm doing is almost like scratching with my pen on the outer edge of the drawing that is pre-printed, just to give it, so just zoom in on here. All I'm doing, I'm trying to just be a little bit messy. Still want to keep it quite sharp. Just want to destroy this line a little bit, just to make it look quite not perfect. If it was a skull, the texture wouldn't be exact, so that's just giving it a little bit of age now. Still wants to be kept really clean and graphical, so all the little bits are quite distinct on the teeth and the jawbone. Right, what I'm going to do is I'm going to add some shading, very just lightly, with the pen, the side of the pen. So remember, obviously I can't change tonal depth as I can with a pencil, but with these sort of pens, and probably with a biro as well, I can probably just about get a very, very scratchy line. It's almost like I'm not using the pen at all. just on sort of cheekbones, inside the skull area here, maybe around this chin area, around the teeth, around these top gums. So it looks a little bit more like hand drawn rather than a photocopied template. I don't know if I might just add some more like radiating lines off the top of this little diamond, just to fill some of this top space. Pattern, because this is all about that use of space, so it's not doing too much, it's not cramming every inch, but it is thought about design. So I definitely want to fill it with pattern, but I do want to use my space well as well. Get it really sharp in there, as if it's like ingrained on it. Just work on that little chin area. Put just a little circle there, maybe. I might mirror that down here, almost like a mirror image of gemstone. And then use the side of the pen to sort of scratch it in. So it's almost like we're giving a little bit of 3D by just scratching in some shading over the pattern. And then go back the other way now, so almost like crosshatch, but this is super light. You don't really want big, heavy crosshatch. Over here, because I want the pattern to stand out. And I think that's about all I'm going to do. So I'm just going to zoom in, show you some of the details. So different mark making techniques, considered use of space, symmetry, 3D, different textures, and that is my Day of the Dead pen skull.